As a gamer, I always look for better competitive gaming components. I always aim for the fastest response time, best settings, and adventurous setup. In short, a fluid flow and movement. With 1440 at 144 Hz, you will enjoy a great image quality with finer details. If a graphic is the most important concern, you will be glad about the quality here. Obviously, 1440 cannot beat the quality of 4K, but it's far better than 1080. Number 1. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3080 Ti. Basically, the 3080 Ti is similar but advanced compared to the rest of the RTX 3000 series GPU. It uses the exact same silicon found in both the 3080 and the 3090, but then with a different number of cores and the amount of memory. Now looking at the specs, it is almost an RTX 3090 but then with half of the memory. Since they are all in the same RTX 3000 series family, things like ray tracing, DLSS, envelope encoder, and so on will apply to this new card. It has an extremely sleek and elegant design, and it would be perfect for anyone that's trying to get away from the very popular RBG trend. The logo lights up, making it look even more attractive. However, Nvidia is sticking with its 12-pin connector. They do include a splitter so you can power it up using regular 8-pin connectors on your power supply. Aside from DLSS and RTX benefits, their MV encoder is still a big plus for anyone that wants to stream. It makes a big difference if you work in the Premiere as well. Nvidia is currently dominating the graphics card industry with amazing options, and RTX 3080 is the supreme pick in the market. The performance and finer details make this product far better than any other. The reflex of the 3080 reduces the latency and is now supported in a ton of games. Also, it has a couple of small features worth considering, like NVIDIA Broadcast. With a great thermal performance test, the results are actually looking pretty decent. After a 30-minute stress test, the sample came in at a core temperature of 73.3 degrees and a hotspot of 86.7 degrees, which is well within specification. With 39 decibels at 50 centimeters distance, it is also not loud at all. I mean, you can hear it, but it is perfectly acceptable. Number 2. MSI GeForce RTX 3070 OC. The RTX 370 should be considered as a great quadage GPU, as it manages to perform exceptionally well at that resolution, playing most games at high settings and high refresh rates. Nvidia's 3070 Founders Edition is by far the smallest, with a length of 9.5 inches and depth of 0.78 inches. It is made completely out of metal and extremely well built. Even though it comes to personal preference, I do think it's an elegant card with amazing looks, with great performance. It is just behind the Nvidia's GeForce RTX 2080, which costs $2,000, and consider this one is faster than the RTX 2070 Super. If you are looking for 4K gaming, then RTX 3070 will play most games at nearly 60 FPS. However, if you want a better choice for 4K gaming, then RTX 3080 is 30% better than this one. In 3070 you will get the 12-pin connector, power cable including an adapter. It has the standard connection layout of 3 DisplayPort, 1.4 ports, and 1 HDMI 2.1 port. It has a fan stop feature, which is pretty much standard these days, as it helps to keep the cards quiet on the light load and it saves the fan living in the long run. You can find all the standard core features like NVIDIA Reflex, which lowers the latency in many games, the broadcast feature, G-Sync, and ray tracing. Now if you're a streamer or someone who wants to record their gameplay for showing out there, RTX 3070 has the bank encoder for that purpose. Compared to the other down models of the Nvidia RTX, this one is nearly 10.5% better, with speed on 1440p resolution, which is a sweet spot for gamers. The clock speed is nearly 2 GHz out of the box. In my opinion, this card is specially made for fast Quad HD gaming, so if you have one, 3070 will shine. Number 3. ASUS GeForce RTX 2060. RTX 2060 is a boss in the industry, but the price is sky high. This is when the ASUS GeForce RTX 2060 jumps into the game as a savior. If you are looking for an RTX 2060 at a budget price, you can have a look at this model. It arrives with the renowned DirectCR3 cooler, which has triple wind blade fans and a huge double heatsink. The length is round about 300 mm. The width is nearly 180 mm, and then the height is 50 mm. Now the first thing that's immediately obvious and reminiscent is the cooler, which uses a triple fine configuration, namely DirectCR3. Externally it has a black shroud that is plastic, and it should still look pretty stylish inside any chassis. The base clock has sat at 1395, not boosted to 1860 MHz, and the memory clock operates at 1750 or 4000 effectively. Now I'm on the RTX cards. This 2060 has the smallest amount of memory, that is 6 GB of DDR2 area, and it supports OpenGL 4.6. It has 2 display ports of 1.4 which can give you up to 8K at 60 Hz. It also has 2 HDMI 2.0s which offer 4K at 60 Hz. Number 4. ASUS GeForce RTX 2070. The concept behind this model is extremely enticing with nearly all the features of larger RTX 2070 cards. But without that mind-collapsing cost, the model is designed in the classic Blick ROG style similar to the last generation. ASUS RTX 2070 comes with 3 fans which will automatically turn off if the temperature is under 55 degrees. I always like the point feature that these cards fit in nearly all the themes without any clashing. Also, you can alter the RGB to correctly match your personalized color palette. The dimensions are 10.51 x 4.65 x 2.28 inches, so check your case before purchasing. The card swaps for display port of second HDMI Roman 2. It has nearly 2 display ports, 2 HDMI 2.0, and 1 USB Type-C. This might not be an issue for most of you, but if you use Triple G, then this one is not for you. This model is playable even with ultra settings of 4K within a frame rate of 40. This card has around 6 GB array and 45 RTX off. Number 5. SAPPHIRE NITRO Plus RX 5700 XT. A higher-end card from SAPPHIRE with high power, a better clock, and a larger cooler. Now, the first impression is extremely good. It has a solid black finish with a decent weight of 1.1 kilograms. SAPPHIRE has incorporated some transmission-able RGB lighting in the logo and on the edges, so I think it has a great bold card look. You will notice a beast dimension in the card with a length of 12 inches and a height of 5.31 inches. The model has an 8-pin combo which provides the card with 375 watts of power. Also, you can see 2x DisplayPort and 2x HDMI on the side. The reason behind this was to support VR. With this feature, you can connect to VR and HDMI at the same time. Nothing new or special, but definitely useful for the users. They have also included a Tree the BIOS switch on the Pulse for performance, silent mode, and software control mode. With performance BIOS you get a base clock of 1770 MHz, and with silent BIOS it decreases to 1670 MHz. Number 6. MSI GeForce RTX 3060. MSI GeForce RTX 3060 is a massive card. This is called the Gaming X Trio and has a triple 90mm fan configuration which is a beefy overall heatsink. In terms of Q2 clocks, you get 3,584 units compared to 4,864 units on the Thai version of the same card. It has a memory similar to the previous generation with more capacity of 12 GB and a smaller memory bus of 192 bits. Also, you can enjoy a greater memory speed of 15 Gbps with a power consumption of 107 TDP. You need 2 8-pin power connections to power the GPU, and in combination with the Trifrozer 2 as well as the TorqueFan 4.0 system, you probably have the largest heatsink/fan combination. So if you're planning on overclocking, this 3060 is probably an ideal card to get. Not to mention the acoustic benefits of having a larger heatsink and more fans to cool your GPU. It also has 5 large heat pipes that run through the sink, and the GPU makes direct contact with precision machine core pipes with an extremely flat surface area. That way you have the maximum amount of coverage from the GPU to the heatsink.